Hello and welcome to the Gold Digger Vision Board training. And I want you to feel free to ask me any questions during this live. And if you happen to catch the replay, then definitely feel free to shoot me any questions that you might have. But definitely know that when you're watching this video, the reason that we're here is because you want to access the Vision Board training. And for those of you who don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is KJ. And who exactly is KJ? KJ Richards. I am a personal development coach, self-love stan, and a growth mindset junkie. I'm also the creator of She, which stands for Seeing Herself Evolving. And She is an online community that I created with a basic mission to ensure that women didn't feel alone in their personal development, specifically after dealing with very, very toxic relationships. Usually within those toxic relationships, it's a tendency for us to create this habit or this pattern of allowing people to diminish self-worth, and also to kind of fall back into the habit of dealing with toxic relationships all over again. So my goal, like I said, personal mission is to put an end to that, for you to step into who you truly are, for you to empower yourself, to empower each other, connect, and also just simply evolve. So that is exactly what She is, seeing herself evolving. Now, I started my own personal journey after dealing with a very ugly and very toxic relationship, marriage, then divorce. I was miserable and I felt completely broken during that time, as if I literally felt like it was in the cards for me to fail in every aspect of my life. And it all came down to the marriage, especially with the divorce, the way that things went down. However, if you fast forward to today, I will truly say that I have evolved, and I took actionable steps to get myself to where I wanted to be mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So that is a huge, huge part of your journey, just making sure that you take those steps. And I shifted my way of thinking and understood that basically my ex's perception, or anyone else's perception for that matter, of me, it really didn't matter, and it really had no space in my life at that point and moving forward. So what mattered the most is what I felt and believed about myself. And once I fully put this thought into practice, let me tell you, the whole game changed for me. Now I'm a successful coach dealing with several personal clients throughout the world, which has just been a huge honor for me. I'm running an online coaching community. I'm extremely happy, and more than anything else, I feel so fulfilled. Practicing the things that I preach to all of my clients is super, super important to me. And I'm so grateful to have you here today and hope to continue on this journey with you. So next, the reason that we are here, it is our vision boards. So they aren't the only way to manifest things in your life, but they are an effective way. They're created with symbols, images, words, anything that you feel that you need to put forth on your vision board. That's what you're going to use to create it. And those things, especially the symbols, those images, and those words, they're going to trigger your subconscious mind to deem that these things are important in your life. So that is pretty much the overall concept of how a vision board is going to work for us. Now, many of us take them with hopes of seeing great results in the new year, but then we get discouraged when we don't see those things come to fruition. And for some reason, I guess with the new year, it's like, oh, we're going to turn over a new leaf, do new things. But you can do vision boards at any time throughout the year. Whenever you feel the urge to move, to evolve, to step up, do it. The problem I feel with a lot of us creating these vision boards, especially focusing on evolving in this new year, is that we make them with no clear intention. So even though we know we want to do things new in the new year, we have no clear intention on what it is we want to do, or specifically how we want to do it. I remember the first time that I made a vision board, and I can honestly say that I'm about 90% confident that nothing on that vision board came to pass. I just made it honestly during that time because everybody else was making it, and I knew what I wanted, but I had no reasoning behind the why or the want. And I saw also that it was working for others, but I felt like it wasn't working for me. And I didn't really understand why. So when it comes to that, think about how vision boards work. With vision boards, for one, I think that for me specifically, in that time that I made that first vision board, it was an imbalance in my belief and my want. If you only think that special people deserve special things in their lives, then that's part of a disconnect in your vision board that's not going to come into fruition. Also, if you don't understand your destination, how do you know where you're going? So the point is to get there. You don't need to necessarily worry about the how you're going to get there. That's for God to figure out. That is for the universe to figure out, your higher power. Your life is your GPS, and you're the one who enters the address on where it is that you want to go. So definitely remember, one, you got to have a balance between your beliefs and your wants, but you also have to understand that this is kind of the roadmap to where it is that you want to go, where it is that you want these desires in your life. Also, vision boards are based on the law of attraction. They remind us that in order for things, in order for the things that we want to show up in our lives, we have to be clear on our intentions and we have to be clear on our desires. So, I want you to ask yourself, what is the one thing that you'd like to manifest in your life? Think about it for a second. Close your eyes, do whatever you have to do to think about it, but we're going to make it brief. That first thing that comes to your mind is your answer from your higher self. Don't sit and try to overthink, which is what I know a lot of us have a tendency to do. We overthink answers, we overthink things. Don't overthink it. Just let it be and accept it. All right? That is key element to what it is that you seek in your life, putting it on your vision boards. Your answer is what you need to start your journey in creating that vision board. All right? Everybody with me so far? We're good? Yes. Awesome. All right. So, what goes on our vision board? What do you need to put on your vision board? Well, before we start placing things on our vision board, I want you to think of the areas that you want to see things start manifesting in your life. I personally believe that the quality of your life is related to 6 different components, which are kind of broken up into habits, thoughts, your environment, your relationships, and also fitness. So you'll see 3 of them listed here. The first one is personal development. And like I said, habits falls into that. So personal development is, what are some of your habits that you have that may be beneficial for you or detrimental to you? What ways can we grow as a person? What things can we think of that we want to create the best version of ourselves and move forward within our vision on our vision board? Remember that thoughts become things. Another thing is going to be finances. The universe, especially with finances, and I also feel in the realm of relationships, which is next, they're only going to give you what you're prepared to handle. So definitely think about, okay, I feel like some people feel like $1,000,000 is overzealous. But if you have a budget in place and if you're taking actionable steps to get you to that point, $1,000,000 might not be something that's overzealous. It may be something that you're preparing yourself to handle, and it may not come right away, but eventually you're going to get there. And the next one, like I said, is relationships, or also our social. What are some of the current relationships that you have in your life, whether it be a significant other, coworker, family member, siblings, all of these things? Think about these relationships and how would you like to see those moving forward within your life? Our other 3 are going to be family, health, and physical, and our career. So with our family, that ties again into relationships, but that also kind of plays a huge role in our environment. You have to determine the things that you want to see within that environment for not just you, but your family. Or if there's a family that you desire to have, what environment, what space are you in to create what it is that you want? With your health and your physical, fitness is a huge part of that. Habits is a huge part of that. So if you have fitness goals in mind, or if you want to shed 10 pounds within 2 weeks, how are you going to get there? It's important for us to understand those things so that we can create a clear intention. And lastly, our career. For some people, they want to be entrepreneurs or solopreneurs. Other people just want to be able to put their degree to use for an employer and really flourish within an area. So think about those things as well. Again, 6 components that I feel are broken down for us to really kind of focus on what it is that we want to put on our vision board. And I want you to think about the areas, and when we're getting in the process of creating this vision board, you want to think of pictures and symbols and words that resonate with you, and relate to what you want to bring into your life. Me personally, I use Google Photos all the time. I use it all the time. I'm also a big advocate of Canva, which I'll show you a little bit later, so I can kind of create certain things for myself. But those symbols and those photos I find so that they represent my desires. Now, other people might use Pinterest. If you're more of a traditional vision board maker, then you may use magazines and newspapers. But whatever it is, just make sure that it's symbolic. It doesn't necessarily have to be you on a yacht. It doesn't have to be that. It just has to represent what it is that you want. It's not as important that it's you in the photo. You just need to evoke what it is that you want again. It's also a very personal process. So you want to think about things that create positive feelings and that are really going to help to stir up those desires in you to see these things manifest in your life. How do we use vision boards? One, we don't want to make it super complicated. That is huge. I can't stress it enough. Do not overcomplicate it. I was just having a conversation with my mom about the Secret. She has never read it before, but it was something that for some reason stood out to her this time, and she was considering picking it up and actually reading it. And I think one of the biggest drawbacks for her was that a lot of people kind of refer to it as the universe. Oh, it's a hoax. It's this and it's that. It's denouncing God. I grew up in a home with a preacher for a father, so my home is very, very spiritual. But they're also very receptive and open to other things. And something clicked for my mom as we were having this conversation, and she was like, if you really think about it, the way that it's described, it's really all one and the same. You may refer to it as God, your higher power. They may refer to it as the universe, but whatever it is, you ask God for these things. You seek these things. You ask the universe for these things. You seek them. And usually when you seek them out and you ask and you have the faith or you have the trust that these things are going to happen, you allow them to manifest in your life so that you can receive them. So again, don't make this complicated. Have fun with the process, and remember that creating a vision board is a very personal process. When you start, you want to make sure that you're also in a peaceful and loving environment. That is another extremely important component. What your desires look like are not the same as someone else's. And a lot of times people will try to deter you from the things that you want. On your vision board. It will go back to the $1 million. Say, oh, girl, you're not going to be able to make that. Well, if you're in that space, you start to create that doubt in your own mind because someone's perception of your vision has now been inflicted on you. So it's important to make sure that you are in a loving space. You're in a peaceful space. And the biggest things is to connect to your subconscious mind. Remember, these symbols and these images are going to allow you to connect to your subconscious. You don't need to worry so much about the how. You just need to think about what it is that you want and trust and have faith. You are the co-creator of the vision. You can have a plan, but it's not going to always go according to your plan. Like I said, you just put in the direction that you want to go, but it may not always go according to your plan. You may feel like you're supposed to take the left a quarter of a mile up, but there's a faster route to get there. So just make sure that you understand that things are not going to always go according to your plan. Just because you put it on your vision board for this year, it may not manifest this year. It may be something that comes into fruition 3 years from now. It may be something that comes into fruition 6 months from now. We don't know. It's just up to you to make sure that you have a clear plan of what it is you want to see. I remember going back to The Secret, watching it, and one of the things that really, really resonated with me was the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I remember him saying that he had put all these things on his vision board and then he tucked it away and he forgot all about it. And then when he pulled it back out, he saw that the home was almost the exact same home that he had on his vision board, along with the money that he manifested. And I just thought that that was so cool. And that once I saw that, after making that first vision board with nothing coming to fruition from it, I was like, let me give this another shot. My intentions were a little more clear. And when I did that, I put it on my wall. And I remember thinking about the whole check situation that he had. He had put a check on his ceiling and he would look at it all the time. And it's like, this is what I want to manifest. And he talked about the process of getting there. And I made my check. I found a blank check. The check had 228 listed on the front, 0228. That was the check number. I put in the memo, ask, believe, and receive. And I said, I'm going to start small because at that time my faith was small. And I put $5,000 listed on my check. And I didn't really pay attention to the check number. I also didn't pay attention to the number that I put as the date. I put 228 as the date, not even looking at the check number on it. And I actually put this on the back of my vision board. Don't ask me the thought process behind it, because you can call it blind faith, if you will. But it was on the back of my vision board. And sure enough, on 228 of that year, I had 5,000, well, just shy of $5,000 hit my account. It was like $2 or $3 shy of $5,000. And that for me just completely activated. I started small so that I can get to the bigger things. And I just had fun with it. And I look back at the check and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like these numbers added up. And it happened to come to me on the day that I had listed on my check. So that is something that I feel kind of activated things for me. And when you do that, just make sure that, or when, not even when you do that, when you create your vision board, but when you're in the process of creating your vision board, keep things within an attainable level. Don't do anything where you feel that you don't have the faith that it'll come into fruition. Start small and then start bigger. All right. So we're making our vision board. We want to put it in places where we're going to be able to focus on it. Mine, like I said, I had posted my first one on my wall. Now it's my screensaver on my phone. If you can see it here, it's my screensaver. I also have, well, that's my lock screen, but if you look on my screensaver, I've also created, I got some notifications, but I also created some widgets there so that I can see the things that I want to manifest. Not done with that because that's a process. So I'm trying to figure out if that's what I want to do. But I see my phone all the time and I have full access to it. And also with this vision board, well, before I get into that, let me go into this. I'll talk a little bit more about things that have worked for me with my vision boards. So I was able to manifest, like I said, that $5,000. New Orleans has always been something that's been super, super high on my list. I've always wanted to go there. And randomly, I got asked by my friends, where do you want to go? And this was after the next one, which was a proposal in front of the Eiffel Tower. Where do you want to go for your bachelorette? And they had some ideas in mind. And one of them, I never really shared this with anybody, but one of the ideas or suggestions for our bachelorette celebration was New Orleans. And I got to manifest those back to back. Also, I got to meet my mentor. Oh my gosh, you guys do not understand how big and how dope this was for me. This man, he's been my mentor in my head for forever, but Damon John, he's just the epitome to me of success and how he literally was grinding and like just came up from what some would consider nothing. And who he is now, to me, he's an icon. He's, on Shark Tank. I just absolutely adore this man. And I think he's awesome. And I had him on my vision board along with Rise and Grind randomly at the top. And how I was able to put the two together, because I met him at a book signing for his book, Rise and Grind. Crazy, right? I met him. Rise and Grind was the name of the book. And what put two and two together for me, because I forgot that I even had Rise and Grind on that vision board, which was on my phone. But someone had posted about the book in their story, and they got a tattoo, and the tattoo was the exact image that I had on my vision board of Rise and Grind. And that's why I was like, oh my God, how crazy is that? So I met him at the Rise and Grind book signing. I was also able to be featured in a magazine. I've always wanted to be on a 40 under 40 list, and I was like, you know what? 2020 is going to be my year to do it. It randomly came up. I randomly got nominated, and out of nowhere, I got a message. I believe it was in June of this year. I got a message letting me know that I was selected to be 40 under 40, and I was featured in a magazine, not once, but twice. And it actually happened to be a magazine that I had created a mock cover for, to place on my vision board. I don't know if it's still on my phone or not. No, I've upgraded it to Forbes. I want to be listed in Forbes. But the one that I had before, it was the exact same magazine that I had on my vision board. So that just goes to show you that these things, if you believe it, if you activate that faith, put it in a place where you're able to focus on it, these things will start to create in your subconscious, and you'll start to manifest these things. You start to believe it. And one thing that you can also do is to start implementing meditation into your practice. For a lot of these digital vision boards, they have audio features. So whether it's you reciting some of your favorite mantras or affirmations every day, or it's someone that you just absolutely adore, like for me, it was Damon John, putting it into your digital vision board, those are some things that you can also incorporate. For some, you have to work on habit. So it may be a good idea for you to place it somewhere where you're visually going to see it, and you can incorporate it into your morning meditation. Make it a part of visualization session for yourself. So these are things that you can definitely do. But yeah, I just wanted to share how these things worked for me, how we can start incorporating it, and how we can really get things going for us. So my favorite way to make a vision board is through Canva. I love digital vision boards now. I have my older vision board, which I made. I had a vision board party with a few of the ladies. So this was one that I started on, and it's so crazy to see a lot of these things manifest. One of the things was personal growth, which was huge, huge for me. Also, just making sure investment was really big. I wanted to make sure I invested in myself. Just things that you really want to see created. So I have my physical one, but again, digital was the way to go for me. So in addition to that, I also have my digital vision board. And one way that you're able to make it, I started out using Hay House. Now I swear by Canva. I see it regularly. So it's something that is great for me to utilize. And if you're not familiar with Canva, I'll show you mine as an example. Hopefully it'll play for us here, and we'll be able to get it to play. Let's see. All right, so what you'll see here is the video, which allows you to create a grid. So I would use IG Story as my template. That way it should match exactly with your phone background. And then next I will go in and I'll locate a grid so that I can literally drag and drop the images into my vision board without having to save anything. So you'll see me start to drag and drop a lot of the pictures and images that I want to use here within the template so that we can really get things the way that we want them. And you also see that it will allow you to alter and crop the images. So if it doesn't fit exactly like you want it to, you can move it. I just used the picture as an example here to show you, but you know, to make sure that you kind of have everything aligned the way that you want to. You can choose as many grid options as you want. This is just one that I chose as an example. But just know that there is no right or wrong way for you to create your vision board. You want to do what feels good. If you want to add text that uplifts and inspires you, if you want to add images that are indicative to what you want, if you want to use affirmation statements and words, if you want to change the fonts and the colors, whatever it is, like I said, have fun with it. Have fun. Keep your intentions clear, and you also want to believe that what you want is already within reach. Celebrate the victories as they arrive. And with some of the women that I worked with before, we see here that they're celebrating their victories. So just to read them, we have Miriam from Georgia. She said, every single workshop that I've done with KJ has been eye-opening. She always comes from a loving place, and says exactly what I need to hear every time. Thank you, Miriam. And Miriam started out in a very angry place. And I think a lot of it was not so much her, being mad at the world, even though that's how we deflect a lot of things. It was more so her being mad with herself for allowing these things to happen. So we're able to really work on mindset and growth. So love Miriam, love her. Ashley from New Zealand, she says that she's so glad that she signed up for She. I can't even read this, sorry. She's gotten as much out of it, and just she's gotten a lot out of it in just a short amount of time. And also, if you want to change your mindset, to change your life, this is the place to do it. I just needed to enlarge it so I could see it, lady. Sorry. So Ashley from New Zealand. I promise I don't need glasses. I hope I don't. All right. I've gone my whole life without them. Let's pray we don't. But now that it's bigger, I seem to be able to see it better. And Holly from Florida, right here where I reside, she said, "Wow, just wow. I have no other words. Truly grateful for KJ in this community." And Holly, I am grateful for you, boo. So yes, we have those testimonials. These women have gone through the process. They are here today, I believe, creating some vision boards. Again, just make sure that you celebrate the victories when they arrive. Strive to be a better version of who you are. Always strive to be better. Always, always, always. I want you to also think about things to avoid. So we want to try to avoid overwhelming yourself. Again, have fun with the process. Make it a game if you need to. Again, get rid of the seeing is believing mentality. You don't need to necessarily have things to happen in order for you to believe them. I believing is seeing. That's the mentality we need to have. Keep that mustard seed faith. Don't worry about the how. Just focus on your faith. Stop allowing other people to determine your desires for you. Also, manifest exactly what you want. But don't try to manifest somebody's husband. We want a husband, just not somebody else's. But be honest in what you really want and what you truly desire. And to me, the biggest part is to make sure that you detach yourself. You have to focus on the power of releasing. A lot of times we sit here and we want things and we just wait and wait and wait for things to happen. But sometimes you just need to let go and let God. Allow Him to allow these things into your life. Make room for greater. Detach. The power of release. And that's something that we'll get bigger and more into in another session. But if you want to go beyond this vision board and if you want to take things further, then also, if you love this training, I would love for you to take the next step, which is our Gold Digger workbook. I'll make sure that you all have it in the link. It's provided with this training. It not only helps you get clear about the things that you want on your board, but it also allows you to create a complete list of goals that you aspire to truly manifest in your life. The Bible says that faith without works is dead. And if you know me, you know I say that time and time again. So it's important that we put in the work. Next, it would be joining the Facebook community. Our Facebook community is She. Self-love starts here. So within that community, there are challenges that will really help you get started on your journey. There are tools that are available, pretty much like this vision board workshop that you see here. And know that within that community, I'm 100% available for any questions that you may have. I do live sessions. I also do events within the group. And then if you want to go a step further, you can evolve by joining She. And here I have several other trainings and master classes that are available. And it's really just more so focusing again on just leveling up and creating the life that you desire within this community. And membership within the community gives you full access to all of the master classes, all the workshops, all the challenges, all the tools, resources, kits, journals, everything. You get all of that included. But not only that, you get one-on-one coaching, monthly sessions with moi, and you also get bi-weekly group sessions and an accountability partner, which I call Soul Sisters, to help keep you on track. You can do all of this with any step, but I really hope that you, one, make sure that your list of priorities in 2021 are as follows. Yourself. That's it. I want you to 100% focus on you moving forward, because when you focus on you, you love you, you elevate you, you are able to radiate that into the world and to allow others to do the same. So you can sign up on our Facebook community. You can reach me at kjrichardsonline.com. Or most importantly, I hope that you'll really take advantage of all of the resources that are available and encompassed into one lovely package called She, which you can find at sheisme.mn, which stands for mightynetwork.co. Now, please feel free to share your vision boards with me. I would love to see what you come up with. Again, thank you so much for joining in on this training today. If you have any questions, feel free to message me directly. I, again, hope that you will show me your vision boards. I can't wait to see those. And I wish you all a wonderful and prosperous new year. Hope to see you again soon.